so that they may one day be banished. For some of us, I know those demons have been visible all along, and the shackles have sometimes been literal chains. How many African American men languish in prison, victims of a system that punishes blackness with disproportionately higher conviction rates and longer sentences? We know the story and realize there is much to do. Indeed, the shackles are not always visible. There's the shackle that keeps a young brown man from speaking up when classmates make fun of his hair or presume that he's not smart enough for an honors class. The microaggressions that black and brown students in our own Staples High School suffer every day have been witnessed to by students who wrote essays last spring on the topic of microaggressions. It is a helpful, if painful, reminder that even in this community full of people who are well-intended and committed to justice and inclusion, that even here we stumble and we fail our black and brown neighbors every day. We rage against these chains, or we should, all of us. And I am convinced the shackles of systematic racism keep us all from flourishing, whether we realize it or not. My seminary, my alma mater, Chicago Theological Seminary, has a button that reads, "If you don't think racism exists, you're white." Beloved in Christ, this is a hard truth. Some of us have had the privilege of remaining blind to the demons that inflict such suffering on too many of God's beloved children. Our culture has trained us to see white as normal and everything else as extraneous. If this reflection surprises you, if you are yet unconvinced that racism still systematically constrains and torments black and brown folks in our country, then I invite you to join me as together we cross over to the other side. I invite you to join me this afternoon as we hear the keynote by Carol Anderson at our celebration just up the street. I invite you to join me this fall as we travel to Montgomery, Alabama. Plans are now taking shape for an interfaith community-based journey to that region, I think in October of this year, where we will dig into some of the history, confront the pain, and so begin to equip ourselves for this ongoing work of banishing the demons and rebuilding God's beloved community. I will keep you posted as those plans take shape. Beloved in Christ, here's the truth. There is yet more to this story. Jesus met that man in the tombs, but he did not leave him there, nor does he leave any of us. Jesus came to set us all free from the self-consuming greed that gave birth to legalized racial discrimination, and from the suffering that generations of black and brown members of our society have endured. The work of achieving racial justice, it is ongoing. But there is one who empowers our every effort to preserve the humanity and integrity of all God's people. You see, at the heart of this hard, holy labor is this affirmation, that there is one who sees us, no matter what. One who crosses over the sea, walks right into the land of the dead to name our demons and cast them into the sea. Whatever your torment, whatever the shackles that bind you, hear this. Jesus knows the difference between us and our demons. And Jesus is prepared to cast out what is destructive and embrace all the rest. With him at our side, I trust that we do indeed have the power to set all the captives free. May it be so. Thanks be to God.